buy secondhand hiking gear because I 1. Like saving money, 2. Like saving things from a landfill, and 3. Love finding hidden gems with amazing vintage quality. Want to know how to do it? Here are some of my favourite secondhand hiking clothes that I found on Vinted and what you can search to find something similar. By the way, I'll let you know how much everything costs both on Vinted and the retail price, and I'll include shipping and fees for the Vinted side of things. So let's not waste any time and go straight to my first item, these grey parachute shorts from Pull & Bear. Now, if you didn't know, Pull & Bear is not a hiking or even sports specific brand. It's just like high street fashion. But that just goes to show that there are plenty of things that can be bought secondhand that aren't meant for hiking but work perfectly well for it. For something like this, I would search for things like nylon, parachute shorts, baggy hiking shorts, baggy running shorts, maybe cargo shorts as well. And paired with the word nylon, you tend to find things that are in this kind of light, thin, breathable material. And the benefit of nylon is that it tends to be water resistant as well, which is a very nice bonus to have when you're out on the trail. Absolutely love having these as an option when it's super hot outside. I couldn't find these exact shorts online anywhere, thanks fast fashion, but I've seen similar looking shorts that were marketed to hikers and walkers for around the £40 mark. Now, if shorts aren't your thing, or at least they're not your thing 24/7, you can go for something like these, which are the Craghoppers Kiwi Pro 2 zip-off trousers. So you can see here, there's a zip there to turn them into shorts. If you know me, you know that I love a zip-off trouser. I think they're the best thing ever to wear on a hike. It might be a bit difficult to see because they are black, but I find the zips in the middle just kind of give them a more cargo-y look, which is quite difficult to find on a lot of women's clothes for some reason. And of course, you do get that added bonus of being able to turn them into shorts if it gets too hot. I would also say that Craghoppers is a great brand to filter for on Vinted. I find that their clothes are often really good quality and they tend to have little extras. Like in this pocket, there is a attached glasses wipe. I think little touches like that are really cool. These retail for £75 new, and I got them on Vinted for £12 and 2 pence. Bargain. Okay, moving on to upper body. I wanted to show this bamboo base layer top. Now, the name is slightly misleading because bamboo would make you think that it's an all natural fiber, but bamboo in fabric actually means bamboo rayon or viscose, I think, which is a semi-synthetic material. I'm pretty sure it's bamboo cellulose that's gone through some chemical treatments to turn into the fabric that we see here. That's not to say it's bad. I do really like this fabric, but some shops out there do try and make it seem like a more green version than it actually is, just so you're aware. That said though, this top is so soft. I wish you could touch this material through the screen to understand. And because it's a rayon blend, it's significantly better at moisture wicking than a cotton top would be, which if you watch this channel, you know I like to avoid for hiking. For this specific top, that is the blend. And although there is cotton in this, I find that because it is a blend, it still does a much better job at moisture wicking than a cotton t-shirt would. But it does have that added softness from the cotton that I find is really nice against my sensitive eczema-ridden skin. So if you're like me and you struggle with wearing merino wool sometimes, this could be a good option for you. If you want to find something like this, I would search for bamboo viscose rayon short sleeve base layer or long sleeve, depending on what you want, but that's the kind of thing that would make this pop up. I can't find this Nature Bound brand online, but I found some other bamboo material tops that kind of look similar to this, and they tend to be in the £30 range, but I got this on Vinted for £6.77. Okay, next is one of my more recent finds, and it is this microgrid fleece, which I am obsessed with. This is super light and thin, but really adds a good amount of warmth without being too overheating. It looks quite unassuming from far away, but the reason I got it is because up close, it has this grid pattern to it that very much reminded me of what you find on ultralight hoodies and fleeces. To me, it looks very similar to a specific Polartec material, which has become very popular, but tends to be on the more expensive side. According to their website, the Polartec PowerGrid material, which is the one that looks similar to that fleece, uses a grid design to create open air channels that increase breathability and reduce bulk. Now, I'm sure there are lots of other things that make Polartec material really great, but everything that I've seen that uses that fabric tends to be around the £80 mark, at least for fleeces and that kind of thing. And I found this one on Vinted for £5.27. Just as a reminder, including shipping. Now, I didn't actually search for a specific brand, and because I ordered this so recently, well, in the past month, I know exactly what I searched to get it. I searched high loft grid fleece Polartec hiking. One big search term. And of course, that came up with a few official Polartec fleeces. However, this one was definitely owned by someone that is not a hiker, because it was actually listed as a military fleece. And I don't know, maybe it is, but upon getting it and researching, this is a brand called Rohan, which, one, love Lord of the Rings, but two, seems to just be a standard hiking brand. And I was actually able to find similar fleeces to this one for around £80 to £90 on their website. So £5.27, absolute bargain. And this fleece has a great little situation here where it's a double zipped pocket, so you can actually pack it away in its own pocket, shove it in there like a little stuff sack. How good is that? Tiny little mid layer for you to carry around. This is also an example of kind of taking a bit of a risk with items sometimes, because as you can see, the label has been cut out, both there on the neck. There, you can see it's been cut out in both places. But I think because of that, that's one of the reasons it was priced so low, because the owner didn't actually know what they had. So who knows, this may have been owned by someone that did know about it and just didn't care because they were having a clear out, but I'm really happy with the price that I got with this. And look, it has thumb holes. I love thumb holes! Okay, next, I'm currently filming kind of during a heat wave in the UK, so just looking at this makes me a bit uncomfortable. But I will say the majority of my time spent hiking in the UK is when it's pretty cold, so we're gonna need some layers. Maybe not right now, but in the colder months, I absolutely love this gilet body warmer. Sleeveless jacket, I don't know. I've never heard of the brand McKinley. I think it's a private label brand by a shop called Intersport. I don't know if that brand is any good or not. All I know is that this body warmer is good, and that just goes to show that you don't need to rely on really big names in the hiking and outdoorsy apparel space. Don't forget that other sports exist too. It's not just hikers that need specific technical gear. Watch this video linked in the description if you want to hear more about that. Anyway, I love this body warmer. It's 90 to 10 down, which means it's kind of on the higher end of a down to feathers ratio, meaning it's warmer, more lofty, I think. And I will say, if you are worried about buying things with down and feathers in it, buying it secondhand is a great way to make sure that the down that already exists in the world isn't going to waste, and it puts less demand on the current down industry. I really can't believe just how many down products are already out there on sites like Vinted and eBay, so definitely look into that if you're thinking about getting something down related. I can't find this exact one online, but if you have been in the market for down products like this before, you'll know that a gilet slash body warmer like this will be anywhere from £40 to about £150. It really is that big of a range. And simply by searching insulated, down, gilet, and I think I put hiking on the end, but that's not even that necessary. Different sports have body warmers like this. I was able to find this one for £7.84. A lot better than £40 to £150. When it comes to finding something like this, I'd actually avoid filtering by material here. A lot of people don't actually know that down is the important part here, so they actually miss that off when they're uploading the item. Instead, just make sure that the word down is in your search if that's what you're looking for, and always make sure you're looking for a label like this or like this when you're looking through the photos. Also, if something looks promising but it doesn't have pictures of those, you can always request them, and if they're a nice seller that wants to get rid of their item, hopefully they'll send that to you. Okay, next is another one for the warmer months, so this is kind of making me sweat just looking at it, but it is this North Face Triclimate 3-in-1 jacket. This is one of the more high ticket items, at least for this video, coming in at £25.60. However, this is actually 2 items in that one price tag. The Triclimate 3-in-1 jackets by the North Face are a waterproof shell and an insulated inner, which can actually be zipped together to make one jacket or worn separately. Hence 3 climates, either cold, cold and wet, or wet and maybe less cold. Also, I'm pretty sure when I bought this, I wasn't aware that this second jacket would be coming with it, so pretty sure that was one of the most exciting days of my life when I unwrapped this. This does have a Gore-Tex outer membrane, but I do think I had to refresh the waterproofing with some Nick Wax treatment, but that was like £5, so well worth the effort to save not just this coat, but kind of this one as well. The inner is actually filled with primaloft, which is a kind of synthetic down alternative. Perfect if you're trying to avoid animal products or if you're just looking to have the benefits of synthetic insulation instead of down. For example, down can struggle in wet weather. But I'd definitely say add primaloft to your kind of repertoire of search terms. Definitely a good one to search for if you're looking for insulated gear. Now, I bought this maybe 2 or 3 years ago, so I can't actually see the details of the listing anymore, apart from the title and price, which I found in my emails. But I vividly remember this being advertised as like a dog walking jacket, or at least that's what they said that they used it for. So again, this is your reminder that you don't need to strictly search for hiking gear. Normal people need waterproofs too in their day-to-day lives. So if you just search for Gore-Tex waterproof jacket without any hiking or outdoorsy labels to it, you're probably going to find something good, even if you do have to reapply that waterproof coating like I did. I can't find which exact version this Triclimate jacket is, but on the North Face website, all of their 3-in-1 Triclimate jackets range from £215 to £450. So I'll take the 25 quid and, you know, chuck an extra £5 on that for reproofing any day of the week. Okay, and last but not least, I wanted to chuck in a little bit of an accessory in there, and that is this Merino wool beanie. This is another one of those things where I just can't believe how many of these there are on the secondhand market. To find these, you can just search for Merino wool beanie, but I would also filter the material on Vinted, and I would click merino and then maybe alpaca and cashmere if I'm feeling fancy. I wouldn't filter by wool at first, because people tend to put that just because something looks knitted. But if you aren't having many results, you can add wool in as well. I will also say things like hats and other accessories are quite easy to make fakes of. So I would stay clear of big brands that tend to make more trendy streetwear apparel now, like Arc'teryx. Their hats are really, really popular. And I've seen countless amounts of the Arc'teryx, I think it's the bird toque, on Vinted, and they're all for like 20 quid. No one is selling their Arc'teryx beanie for 20 quid, especially if they have multiple of the same beanies on their profile. So I would just steer clear of those. One way that you can do that is by adding another filter to your search, which is just a price filter. Just filter the price to be anything below £10 to £15, and you'll probably filter out a lot of those fake sellers. Anything above that, and you're just paying for a label that may or may not be legit, so not really worth it. This hat is by a brand called On One. I can't find anything about it because anything I search just comes up with the brand On, like on running. But when I bought it, it did still have its label on, and it did still say 100% merino wool and looked pretty legit, so was very happy with this. I am slightly embarrassed to say that I've previously bought merino wool beanies like this for £30. And what makes it worse is I actually prefer this one that I got on Vinted for £6 and 24 pence. But you live and you learn. I've made these mistakes so that you can learn from them for free. So if you did learn anything from this, please give me a like and let me know in the comments if you do end up getting anything on Vinted. By the way, I'm not affiliated with Vinted at all. That is just my preferred secondhand marketplace. But let me know if you have any questions below. I will try my best to answer them. Thank you so much to my patrons and members for supporting the channel, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.